Yo, what up, what up, what up, YouTube, massive agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., massive crew, fans, supporters, whoever you are, wherever you are. What up, man? Hope everyone is well, and of course, literally doing well. It's your boy, Usama, DJ Sava, two British nerds. Hope everyone is well, and of course, literally doing well, man. So finally, about three hours ago, I literally watched the final 2 hour finale, amazing show episode, of course, of the finale of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Really loved it. It was so good, so well done. It was emotional, it was intense, it was loving, it was comedic, it was humorous, it was so well, and I was really happy. And of course, before we move forward, this will be a spoiler. So if you have not watched the season finale, please don't watch or listen to this podcast. Or no, I'm trying to say, just keep it moving until you watch the episode and come back or watch or listen to my sexy North African Gemini Marvel loving Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Chloe Bennett self. What up? So literally it was fantastic, it was dope, it was intense, it was emotional, it was nice, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I just so enjoyed it. It was so well done. And it was emotional because I was like, who's gonna die? Are they gonna die? Are they gonna make it together? Are they gonna get stranded in the timeline? Are they gonna sacrifice themselves? Are they all gonna die in one spot? Is their old timeline going to be destroyed? Are some going to stay back? Some going to go stay in the current timeline, and some are going to go back in the past? Like, what's going to happen, man? And it was so amazing. I mean, I just enjoyed it. I think my favorite moment from the show, from that particular episode, was of course two moments. Had to be number one when we see Fitz and Simmons basically reunited and at the back bait, and then we actually see they actually have their kid, which is cool. They have their kid, which means obviously now Deke Shaw will actually be born eventually down the line. That was really very emotional, very dope, because I thought to myself, Fitz and Simmons have been through such a lot through season 1 to season 7. So I was like, basically, sorry about that, my phone rang. Let me just turn the data off, man. Let me put it on flight mode. That's it, done, sorted. So, like I was saying, Fitz and Simmons have been through a lot from season 1 to season 7. And I was like, man, come on, this is the last episode, man. Like, they have to get a happy ending, and they did. They spent time together, they had their kid, they were happy, they're married and so forth. And it was nice to see them having finally a stable relationship after they've retired from S.H.I.E.L.D., as we found out at the last in yesterday's episode. What was really dope was the end of the episode when we actually see that Mac upgraded Coulson's car, Lola, and I was like, yes, the last time we saw Lola was many years ago. So it was nice to see Lola, red paint, and obviously we see how Mac kitted Lola out, and it was nice to see that Easter egg basically where it's in season 1 where Coulson basically flies off with Sky and Lola with the glasses on, and then basically we see it again 7 years later. So it was amazing. It was so well put together. One thing that I'm really excited about is obviously I'm so sure they're going to do spin-off shows for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now everyone has gone in their own direction. Deke Shaw, he's stranded in 1983. There's no those robots. What are they called? I forgot their names now. Chromacons, Nemricons, can't pronounce the word. Anyways, so basically 1983, in that particular timeline, the robots were taken to the other timeline with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crew. So basically that timeline is totally fresh. And the thing is, there's no Hydra either, which is pretty cool. So thinking of it realistically, at the end we see that Deke Shaw is pretty much the leader of basically S.H.I.E.L.D., or is it Sword? Swordfish. I don't know. Oh my gosh, so excited. So technically, can you imagine if Deke Shaw is actually becomes the new leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. from 1983, and how he can impact the timeline? All of that to basically say is, there's a story to be told there. Can you imagine basically we get a Deke Shaw spin-off show where it kicks off from 1983 and onwards. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I like him as a character, and I'm excited to see more of him. I never liked him when he first appeared. I was like, this guy's a bit, I don't like him. And then he just grew on me. He's got so much development, so much story to tell. He would be an excellent character to have a spin-off show. And of course, Coulson needs to have his own show again, but then it would have to revolve around the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crew. Really pumped and excited. They've got a Coulson Academy, and May's actually the teacher. She's teaching. I love the fact that Mac is pretty much like Nick Fury in a way. He's like pretty much the head. I guess he's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. to a degree, in what we've pretty much saw. Because the last time what he said before, he's running through through alleyways and through through and so forth. I'm getting tongue twisted. No, what he basically said was, before his life was different. He was going through corridors and so forth. Now he's got a bird's eye view, which means he's in an office. So I'm assuming he is pretty much the director of the whole S.H.I.E.L.D. technically. Really excited to see what potential storylines can come out of that. Overall, each character basically has a storyline. Daisy, she's fine and bonded with her sister, so that there's a story to tell from there. They all have literally a story, all of them together. So I really hope we get to see somehow Bobby and Lance Hunter, man. Them two are very, very cool and comedic together. But overall, I'm just rambling, going from here to there, but I'm from here to here. But I'm just super excited, man. Like, I really love the show. It's kind of emotional. For me, it's kind of emotional that the show is kind of gone, because the only two shows I ever watched on a daily basis was The Blacklist and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is done. The Blacklist ain't gonna come back until next year. There isn't any Marvel shows to watch because they still are, due to the whole Corona thing. Everything's kind of been slowed down due to production. So there's no Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus. There's nothing. So there's actually no Marvel TV. I don't know. I think Wonder and Vision is the first one that comes out, which is sometime in December, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, all of that to basically say, I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man. I mean, it's such an amazing show. It's a show that, spun out of the death of Phil Coulson from, Avengers Assemble, where Loki killed him basically. And then because the fans loved Coulson so much, they started hashtagging around the world, Coulson lives. And then all of a sudden, pow, Clark Gregg said one day he got a call and said, you know what, you may not be dead, and pow, welcome to level 7. So it was pretty cool to see Coulson's evolution from cameoing from Iron Man, and then cameoing in other Marvel movies, and then from there, basically from Avengers Assemble, he found himself in basically, from Agent Coulson to Director Coulson, and then his story unfolded from there. And to see what's happened to him has been really, really dope and amazing. To think that someone like Clark Gregg, like he said, he never thought that he would go from one cameo and have, 7 years of just dopeness within MCU. Like, Coulson is such a likable character. He's my guy. And it was kind of emotional to see him go. I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to go. But is he really going to go? And now basically, we now Coulson is a LMD. He's not going to die. So it's a thing of where, they can do so much with him. I mean, like I said, there's potential storylines for every single character, but I do know, and I know it's going to happen. Eventually, they are going to give us a reunion of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They are going to bring the show back. They are going to do something with these characters, but I'm happy that no one died, because I literally thought people were going to die. And I thought people were going to die. I was like, oh man, please give all of them a happy ending. They so deserve it. And it was quite cool how they tied in basically season 7 with season 6 regarding the temple and so forth. But it was pretty cool. And the whole time travel aspect was dope. I think they did so well. They really did an amazing job of actually explaining time travel. And I loved this whole season, because for me, to see them jumping from time to time and just explaining it properly, and it was just so simple to understand and digest, and they done it very well. And it was cool to see Easter eggs, to see themselves adjusting to to particular timelines, seeing Easter eggs from past Marvel movies, seeing past Marvel characters. It was so well done. It really feels like season 7 has been literally just completely different from season 2 to season 6. I will always remember season 1 and season 7 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And not because it's the last season, but because it was completely done completely different. And I really enjoyed it. I just loved it. Like, I just really, really, really enjoyed the whole concept of time travel, of changing their fate, but they knew basically, or trying to change time so they can actually, stop these robotic beings from taking over the world. But also in the back of their minds, they knew this was going to be their last mission, and essentially they probably thought, were they going to die? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it was, I thought they were going to die. I was like, they're all going to sacrifice themselves. It's going to be over. But I was like, they have to keep Shield there, because on yesterday's video, I pretty much said that even though the show ends, Shield is a big part of the MCU. We've seen it throughout the whole of the MCU. It's like the pinnacle of the MCU. And I was like, they can't get rid of Shield, And of course, it was nice to see how pretty much Mac is now the director of Shield, which means this possibly now can tie in with future Marvel movies. Of course, we all know Nick Fury is still alive, so potentially we can get, I don't know, Easter eggs, or he can mention what happened with Coulson and his team and really connect them, or they can even make appearances, which I really hope they do one day, make appearances within the MCU. Coulson definitely needs to come back in the MCU and make his appearance, man. But I think every single person deserves, every single character, the main characters from the show, they so deserve to be within the MCU, man. I mean, it's got to be done. But overall, I really loved it. I just really loved it. I was so emotional to see Fitz. I was like, yes, Fitz. Of course, they mentioned the quantum realm, which of course ties into Avengers Endgame. But you're thinking, how did Fitz know about the quantum realm? How did he know? How did he know? And if it involves time travel, is there a connection between Fitz and Captain America and the Infinity Stones? Avengers, Infinity War. Like I was going to say Endgame. But is there a connection? That's something we would like to see. But I like the fact how it ended, because the way the show ended, everyone went on their merry way. So they can always bring these characters back. And, like I said, there's a story to tell behind each of these characters, man. It's so cool, it's so amazing. But I just love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man. I love the comics. And like I said yesterday, a lot of people didn't dig the show when it first came about, because they were like, no, there's no Iron Man, there's no Avengers, there's no Cap and so forth. But I was like, S.H.I.E.L.D. is above that. It's espionage, it's spying, it's gadgets, It's a well-trained team of stealth that operate above the government to a degree. So for me to actually have that within the show, I loved it. And it was completely different. You had these regular people that were trying to change the world for the better, And obviously down the line we found out, Sky became Daisy Johnson, became Quake. She had inhuman powers. Coulson changed into an LMD when he died. May has become more empathic now. She's an empath. Their characters have changed, but overall the essence of it is there were people that were trying to change the world and make the world a safer place, and they were just ordinary people. They were a loving, caring family that looked out for one another while trying to basically do their job. And I think it was amazing. I think one of the best characters that's had the best character development has to be Fitz and Simmons, man. I mean, like Fitz was just like in season 1, he was just like a geek, and then he just evolved and became like brutal, became savage, became very, very he really, really changed his attitude. Like his character for me is the most shocking one, because he's had so much to deal with. He had brain injury when War dumped Fitzsimmons in the water. Losing Gemma on many occasions. So finding out that he actually died and he came back. Like, it was insane. He's had so much to deal with, and it's just been very, 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 very emotional for him. But even for Gemma, I mean, like them two, man. Like I was like, come on, give guys, girls, people that write the show, give these people basically a break, man. Give them a break. They really, really deserve it. And I mean, I can go on for hours and hours, but I just love the show. I loved the last episode. I thought it was well done. I literally thought Sky was dead. Daisy Johnson, sorry. I thought she was dead. I was like, oh my gosh, she sacrificed herself, and that's how time plays out. She's dead, and then they brought her back, and of course, her sister Cora brought her back to life. I was like, yes. Shout out to Agent Sousa from Agent Carter. He was dope as a character. I was kind of happy when they actually allowed him to be in the show throughout the whole 7 seasons. That's really dope because he's actually taken from time. That's insane. He's like, I wonder what's going to happen to him, or if he gets introduced into future Marvel movies, because he's got the history basically. He's like, yeah, he's part of the whole Captain America scenario. I mean, in that particular arc with Peggy Carter, it's kind of cool. And it was, and I think what was really dope about him, he was a stand-up cool guy. He was straight. You know, he did his job efficiently. He was cool. He was such a loving character, and I'm so happy. Basically, they allowed him to be in for this whole season. And of course, it was nice to see Sky. You know, Sky basically finally happy, and they were all happy. I mean, that's what I love. They were all happy doing their thing, and they all basically are still connected to one another doing their thing. So it's quite amazing to see what's going to happen next to the show. I know they have to do spin-off shows because the show, like I was saying yesterday, has such a big fan base. You know, everyone loves all these characters. Like, people would definitely like to see what happened to Deke Shaw, 1983. People would love to see, you know, Coulson traveling around the world doing his thing. Mac being the head of the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., how's that going to play out for him? What kind of missions is he going to go on? And what team has he now got, basically? Agent Rodriguez as well, you know, Yo-Yo, she's got her own team doing her thing. What's happened to her? Fitzsimmons, what are they doing in retirement? Like, you know, it's a very, very interesting, it's going to be very, very cool to see what comes out of this show, because it's like, for me, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like their baby. It's like Disney's and Marvel's baby. It span out, you know, from Avengers Assemble, the movie. It's like their baby, man. So even though it's ended, it's a show, in my personal opinion, that's always going to come back one way or the other. And I know it is, because it's a big fan base. They won't let it go. They'll bring it back when it needs to be brought back. Like, they'll probably announce like a mini series on a Disney Plus, or like maybe announce like, yeah, a couple of episodes on Disney Plus, or just to see, like, they can call it Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the Aftermath, where they basically give you episodes in regards to what happened to the characters after, like literally just in like just what happened. Like, we see missions from we see, for example, Mac basically doing his thing and showing you his life after what happened. You know, Daisy Johnson, Rodriguez, Fitzsimmons, Coulson, you know, and of course Deke Shaw, you know, go back in time and see what he's actually done. And I think with Deke, he's probably going to be that dude that he's going to make a time traveling device basically and travel back into the future. Like, he's one character that needs to get his own show. He has to, because he has so much potential, and I think he's very likable. He's a very likable guy. The guy that plays Deke Shaw, I forgot his name. No, Jed Ward. Is it Jeff Ward or Jed Ward, I believe. He basically, he's very, very likable in real life, and you know, he's a likable guy. So I can tell that when he gets his own show, he's gonna be very, very, very he's gonna do very, very well. And I would pay to watch him. You know, like, I would pay to watch him, because I think he's the guy that plays Deke Shaw. Deke, he's likable, he's fun, he's such a cool guy, and you know, the fans will vibrate with him. And because but seriously, we all want to see what happens in 1983. What happened to Deke? What did he do with S.H.I.E.L.D.? Or did he found his own society and so forth? So overall, it was cool, it was dope. And of course, the biggest shocker in this whole season is Agent May. She's become more compassionate, more kind, more empathic, which is a completely different side to how she was before, where she was emotional. She was very stern. She didn't care. She suppressed herself. And you know, she's a character that's had a very, very big change. But I think she's become more balanced than she was before, which makes her such a better person than she was previously. So love it. I think one thing I'd love to see one day is for them to actually do something with Phil Coulson and actually make him human again, because I think he deserves it. Give me the flesh Phil Coulson. But overall, he's pretty much immortal. So it's really, 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 that's it, Chromacons. The Chromacons, that's what they're called. The Chromacons, the robots, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, you got to, man, you got to. Overall, people, what can I say? But I love the show. I love Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's one of the best shows ever. It's Marvel's baby. It's like it span out of Avengers Endgame. Who would ever thought that the death of Phil Coulson, Clark Gregg, who plays Phil Coulson, would actually manifest and revolve basically into 7 years of dopeness in connection with the MCU to a degree, but just so well done. And I really love it, man. Thank you to all of the actors, actresses, people that clean the studios, the writers, producers, directors, whoever you are. Thank you to every single person from high to above that's been involved in the show. I love you guys and girls 100%. We have to see a spin-off show. We have to see Deke Shaw's 1983 spin-off show. We have to see a spin-off show from all of the characters from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. With that being said, thank you for a dope, amazing season. And I love the show. I love the brand. With that being said, make sure you smash that YouTube subscribe button, smash that YouTube bell button, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. And of course, beautiful people, I'll catch you in a bit of a brand new video. Peace out.